everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a very long time, and I do have a lot of updates for you all, specifically about my bunnies. But first of all, I do want to say if I sound rough, it's because I have been sick for the entire past week, and I think I am still a little sick, definitely. But I did want to finally sit down and record an update on my bunnies because a lot has happened. And while I've been posting on my Instagram, I haven't really said anything here on YouTube. So I'm going to take you all back to, gosh, like about a month and a half ago, and then just go from there with updates because honestly, it has been so much. And as you can see behind me, things look very different and there's a lot of different stuff going on. I did switch my guinea pig and bunny rooms, so if you want to see an update on my new guinea pig room, I will link it up above. But behind me is the old guinea pig room, which is now the bunny room. I'm going to take you guys through essentially everything that's happened in the past month and a half, just give you a roundabout update on how my bunnies are doing. So first of all, about a month and a half ago, I tried to bond what I was hoping to be a trio. So I had a pair, Luna and Koda, and then my new rabbit, Teddy, who I got a few months ago. He's here behind me. And I decided, I'm going to bond a trio. I'm going to have a trio of rabbits. And honestly, it went really well for the first hour of the bonding. Like, I was feeling so hopeful for the first hour and a half, I would say. There were absolutely no issues. The three of them were literally just vibing, eating. There was some minor humping, but then it would just stop. And I was feeling so hopeful that the three of them would bond. And then a bit later, Luna and Teddy started to get into it, which was what I was expecting to be the main kind of confrontation there. Here's Teddy right here. Yeah, it was you. But basically, Luna wants to be top rabbit. She wants to be groomed, and she asked Teddy to groom her multiple times, and he refused. And so she retaliated by kind of going after him, pulling out his fur, chasing him, nipping him, all of that. And that's pretty standard for Luna. That's kind of what I expected. I was hoping it would calm down, and she would either just kind of start to ignore him, or he would give in and groom her. And neither of those happened within like 5 hours before I went to bed. So I went ahead and ended the bonding before I went to bed just because their tussles were getting very intense, and Luna and Teddy would tussle, and then Koda would get stuck under them, and he would be like trapped under them, or I would grab Teddy and separate Luna and Teddy with my oven mitts, and then Luna would just go and attack Koda, who she's been living with for multiple years. She was just so angry. She thought it was Teddy, or she just was fed up, and she would just go after him instead. And so I didn't feel comfortable leaving them alone at night. So I separated them again, and then I tried again multiple times throughout the week. I did smaller space bonding, which honestly did not go that well. It was pretty much the same, except just immediate to like the tornadoing and fighting. They just went straight into it instead of like the calmness beforehand. And I thought, okay, Teddy, he's very young. He's very energetic. He's always wanting to run, zoomy, get up to stuff. So I was like, maybe he's just feeling fed up in the smaller space. And that's why they were good for a while. And then it got kind of dicey. So I was like, okay, we'll try a larger space bonding, which usually isn't what people do, but I've seen some people have it work out for the rabbits' personalities. So I was like, all right, a larger space bonding. And I tried this, and it actually went a little bit better. They mostly just ignored each other on separate parts of the pen, and Teddy would kind of creep close to Luna, and then he would run away like he was scared of her, and he would do this over and over, but eventually they just could not. Every time they'd come close, they would start fighting all over again. So I separated them again, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break for a few days, and then I was going to do the car carrier bonding method where you all put them in the same carrier, and you kind of drive them around in your car, do some stress bonding a little bit. And that was going to be my next step of action. But then on, I think it was like July 12th, I don't remember the exact date, I came home after being out for the day and Koda had passed away. So I've posted some about this online, and I've kind of been waiting a very long time to post here on YouTube because I don't entirely know what to say about the situation. Teddy, this is a serious conversation. He doesn't care. So I came home. I'd been gone for, I don't know, maybe 5 hours max. And Koda had been fine. He'd been eating, drinking, acting normally. He had been down a little bit in weight, but Koda had always had malocclusion and teeth issues his whole life. So his weight would fluctuate up and down pretty frequently. But I came home and I found that he had just passed away in his litter box while I was gone. I think I'm still in some sort of denial. It's been, like I said, over a month since this happened, and I think I'm still like not fully wrapped my mind around what happened because it was just so sudden and so shocking. I mean, he was only 3 years old, and I mean, he had lifelong teeth issues and he'd always struggled with his weight, but there were no immediate signs leading up to his death that really pointed that was going to happen. So when I found him, it was a Saturday evening, and I was so in shock. I did not know what to do. Had a full breakdown, of course, but then I was like, I want to find out what happened, so I decided to get him a necropsy. And this whole story, guys, I don't want to dive into the whole thing because I really don't want to relive it, but I was like driving all over, like, where can I take his body to find a place that can store him for a necropsy, because it was a Saturday and no vets were open except the emergency vet until Monday. So I was like, okay, if I just take him to the emergency vet, maybe they can store him there and then take him to the necropsy place on Monday. But I went there to the emergency vet. It was like 9 p.m. I was there for hours, and they were going back and forth, and it was going to cost a ton for some reason for them to store him there and then transport him. Like, that was going to cost me a lot. They said I could just take him straight to the necropsy place and leave him in the outdoor fridge, like outdoor access fridge for after hours drop off. And I'm like, pull up to this building. It's dark. It's like 10 p.m. by now. And there's just this giant fridge, like a huge walk-in fridge in like a restaurant or something. And I have to fill out a bunch of forms in this like little empty room. And then I have to take him and put him in the giant walk-in freezer. Thank God there were no other animals in the walk-in freezer. If I had seen like, I don't know, other large, because like some animals could be large left in the freezer, but if I had seen like any sort of shape of animal in that freezer, I think I would have fully lost it. Thankfully there was nothing else in the freezer, and so I dropped him off and I left him there for a necropsy. Like, it was the most surreal, like, I'm getting chills thinking about it, just because it was such like a surreal and like mind-numbing experience. Like, I can't believe that happened. Like, through my grief, I'm just having to put his body in an outdoor fridge in the dark at 9 p.m. at 10 p.m. and like fill out some forms. Like, it felt crazy, and I can't really describe that feeling. Like, of course I could have just buried him in my backyard or had him cremated or something simple, but I'm the kind of person who needs to have answers. Like, I could not have let him go and like come to terms and peace with his passing if I didn't know what happened. Like, that's just not me. I have to know. I have this need to know. And I was like, I needed to know if I had done something wrong. Like, if there was something I had done wrong that caused him to pass. Like, I needed to know. I also had to know if he had something contagious that my other rabbits could have. Like, he was vaccinated for RHDV2, but wonder if something happened. Wonder if somehow, because his immune system was weak, he got it. Wonder if they could have it. Like, just stuff like that I had to know. So the vet who did the necropsy told me luckily he did not have anything contagious, so my other rabbits weren't going to get anything. And then she said he did actually have an inner ear infection that was so deep in his ears that you couldn't have like found it on a physical exam. He would have had to have a CT scan. And of course, I don't do CT scans on my pets unless there's a reason to do a CT scan. They're so expensive. So he hadn't had a CT scan in, I don't know, a couple years since some of his initial evaluation on his teeth. So we had no idea that he had an inner ear infection. Who knows? Like, that could have been pretty developed. So we thought maybe that was what ultimately made him pass. but that didn't seem to be the case. It was a localized infection. It hadn't spread to any other part of his body. The vet said he also had a lot of bad bacteria in his gut. So our thought was that his teeth were getting more and more painful, that he wasn't eating as frequently as he should have been. While we had removed his front molars, one of them had grown back in. We'd have to shave it every 6 weeks. And then his back molars were currently pending like surgery for when they got worse enough. And when he was healthy enough, we thought he could undergo anesthesia to have those removed. So it's possible there was more pain happening in his mouth. He wasn't able to eat as frequently. So that was like building that bad gut in his bacteria, or bad bacteria in his gut. And that she said it had like kind of spread towards the liver, but it wasn't fully in the liver. So it wasn't anything to do with the liver. But our best summary here of what happened is just that it was too much on his body. You know, he had chronic teeth issues. He had this ear infection we didn't know about, and his weight was fluctuating up and down. And it was just a low point for him with his weight, and the bacteria was, I don't know, doing whatever. And that is just his body couldn't handle it. So it's hard because it's not a definitive answer of why he passed. Like, they're not like, oh yes, 100% this happened. But it sounds like his body just gave out because of all the stuff that was happening, and some of it we didn't know about. So that is sort of what happened with that. So Koda has been gone for about a month now, which I can't believe. It feels weird without him here. I feel like he should be here. He was acting so normal in the week leading up to it. And that was the week I was doing the bonding as well, the week leading up to his passing. I mean, he was normal in the bonding. He was eating. He was running around. He was taking his meds on his own. Like, he was eating. Like, that night and that morning, he took his meds on his own. Like, didn't have any outward signs. And I know they're really good about hiding their ailments. So I have to not let it get to me too much. But it is hard. And so after that, I was like, now I'm left with Luna and Teddy, who were the ones who didn't like each other during the bond, and I'm left to bond them. So that's when I switched to the side-by-side pens you see here. I'll show you guys more about that in a minute. And I was like, okay, I'll have them live side-by-side for a bit until I have time to dedicate to a bonding. And maybe like seeing each other will help them both, and also maybe Luna being alone again, she'll want another partner. She is a social rabbit. She does like having friends. Maybe she just didn't think she needed Teddy, per se. She didn't want him in the trio. She didn't need him. She already had Koda. So maybe now things will change and she'll be a little bit more accepting. Maybe Teddy, getting used to seeing her all the time, will be more accepting of her. I don't know. I just wanted to try the side-by-side for now and see if that helps with the bond. And then, you guys are not ready for this. Luna has been battling her own ear infection for, gosh, I don't know, like 4 months now. She's been on antibiotics for 4 months, and it had gotten smaller. The ear infection was improving, so we were sticking with antibiotics to see if we could get it really, really small. And we did get it small, but the vet said at this point, she recommended surgery to go in there and to remove the infected material. She has ear infections on both sides. The right is worse than the left. They've kind of fluctuated depending on her visit, depending on the antibiotics. Like, they'll grow and then shrink. It's not really steady, but the right was worse. So the vet recommended we do ear surgery for Luna to remove her ear infection in the right ear. So I was like, okay, we should go ahead and do the surgery before I try to bond, because she'll have to be alone after the surgery. She'll be doing a lot of healing. I don't know if you can tell, but she's in a cone. I'll show you guys. It's so sad. She has a cone on her head, so she can't scratch at her ear and like maybe reopen that. I will show you all, but it's been about a week and a half since Luna's surgery. She's still in the cone. She did really well recovering. Like, she was eating fine. She was acting normal, maybe eating a little less, but still eating hay, pellets. I was giving her critical care. Like, it was all going very well. She was eating on her own. I didn't have to really hand feed her much. The only reason I had to hand feed her was because the cone made it hard for her to like get critical care out of a bowl. Like, she managed to, but it was kind of hard. So I was hand feeding her with the syringe just because of the cone. Like, she wanted to eat it. She just struggled with the angle with the cone. So that's where we are right now. She had her incision check, and they had to like clean up some stuff that had scabbed over. But they said that when they went in, they removed like this whole chunk of like infected ear material that was like the consistency of dried toothpaste, is what the vet told me, which is like, I feel like it's weirdly satisfying in a way. Like, just thinking about digging out that glob of infection and getting it out of there, that sounds so satisfying. I think I would have been grossed out seeing it, but it sounds satisfying. So I'm going to show you on the screen what her ear looked like the day I brought her home. Fair warning, it's a little gross, but hopefully you all will be okay. Just skip forward if you don't want to see it. But when I brought her home, her ear was looking pretty, you know, raw from surgery. They actually decided to extend, God, the laceration, I think is the word, extend it kind of upwards to open the ear up more. And this is hopefully to prevent the infection from coming back, to have the ear flap more open and get, you know, more airflow in there. And so it's not going to really build back and get all up in there again. I don't know what I'm trying to do with my hands. So that's what it looked like about a week or right after the surgery. And then when she went in for her incision check, I'll put a picture up of what it looked like then. It had this huge like scab over it. So they basically went in and got all that out. And then now I have to clean her ear twice a day. I just dab a solution on it, dab it dry, and then she's on a different kind of antibiotics. They did, I can't remember the word, but they basically tested the infected material to find out what antibiotic could treat it best. The one she was on before, it wasn't immune to that. It was doing something, but she's now on the SMZ, which is a better antibiotic for this specific infection. So let me just stop talking. It's been so long of me talking, so much to cover, and let me show you her, and let me show you sort of what my setup looks like in this room right now. So this is the door right here, and then this is Teddy's pen. It is pretty large because, like I said, he is super, super active. He will run circles around in here all day long. He'll go up on the couch, up on the top. He goes absolutely feral. Like, he has so much energy, and I work in here during the day, so I can always see him like going crazy all the time. Do you want me to let you out? I need 2 hands to do this. There we go. I'll go ahead and let him out so he can run around some. I do have to watch him so he doesn't get into anything he shouldn't. Any cords, yes, that's my phone, or anything like that. There's a bunch of cords under Ember's cage, so I have to watch him for that. Obviously my computer cords as well, but he always wants to be out. I didn't open that gate. You have to come back in through this one. Do you need me to open that one too? Gotta move out of the way. I'm opening it. So that's Teddy's pen. It's got a bunch of stuff in there for him to do. He's been absolutely ripping up this piece of cardboard whenever he gets the chance. He loves to do that. This is my dog's bed. She'll come and lay in here while I'm working. She just watches the bunnies. She really doesn't like act like she needs to chase them or anything. She'll literally just lay here and watch them. So I have her bed in here so she can join me while I work. I don't know where he's going. I think it's best. Teddy. Get out of there. Teddy. Come here. Get out. That's a broom. He is such a little, like, mischievous guy. You gotta get out of there. And then here's Miss Luna's pen. Please ignore all the mess. She's been peeing everywhere in retaliation. I think she is mad. Well, obviously she's mad about the cone. Like, obviously she's pissed about the cone. And she just doesn't bother to go to the litter box all the time. She just pees wherever she wants. Her pen's a little smaller. Before her surgery, I did actually have the bathroom door open. She could roam the whole bathroom as well. I have a rug in there for her, but I wanted to make her space smaller post-surgery. Hi, baby girl. I know. Here. There you go. It's okay. She's honestly doing okay with the cone. It's like a soft material. It's not too stiff. She does look like she actually chewed it right here. Yeah, I know you don't want to wear it anymore. It's also looking gross. She goes back for her second incision check on Tuesday in like 4 or so days. So if they say she still needs to wear the cone, I'm going to ask for a new one because it's looking kind of gross. But she's had to have that on 24/7. They said I can take it off and like watch her to make sure she doesn't scratch. But honestly, I don't trust myself to really get it back on securely every time. The process of putting it on, she really hates that. And also she tries to scratch her ear constantly. So you can see, this is the ear where she had surgery. Okay, I know. But I have to clean that twice a day. It looks a lot better now since they kind of cleaned it out. I want to get a better angle here. She doesn't want me to show you guys, but it looks a lot better since they cleaned it out. And I had to give her a new box because she couldn't fit in her old hides with the cone. She would get stuck. It's so sad. It is so sad to see her in the cone, but I know she has to wear it because if she tears that open, that would be really bad. Hi, baby. I know. Can I show them your ear? Yeah, you can see they kind of opened it up. So it's a lot more open now. And eventually we might do surgery on the left ear. I really don't want to. This has been a really rough recovery process with the cone. I did not know she would have to wear a cone. And it's honestly been hard for her to see her like struggle to move around with the cone. It's harder for her to eat. And obviously she's literally making a mess everywhere. She also can't eat her cecotropes very well. So she can't like bend under herself to get her cecotropes. So they're just like being left in mushy piles on the ground that she'll maybe eat them from. So that's pretty gross. I had to have them give her like a sani shave on her butt because she can't reach down to clean it. So all the cecotropes were just like making it gross down there. You can see I gotta brush her. She's molting and she can't groom herself. So there's just a lot of downsides with the cone. And so I really hope the new antibiotics make her ear infection go down on the other side so that we don't have to do another surgery. But once she is all healed, I am hoping to bond her and Teddy. They have been sleeping right here. They'll sleep right beside each other up on their ends of the pen. And her pen is solid, so they can't actually touch, but they'll sleep right there. It's so cute. Teddy, those are my shoes. And a piece of paper on the ground. Yeah, it's a piece of paper. But over here I have my desk like always. And then my hedgehog. And then this is my new little workshop station. So I actually, hi Teddy, started a new Etsy selling these custom name tags. So I'm super, super excited. I've been doing it for about 2 weeks and I've already gotten so many orders. So thank you to everyone who has ordered. This is like my little setup station. I'm working on some new designs, maybe some memorial pieces. I've got all my little jewelry tools, packing stuff, my label printer. Like, this has just been so fun for me to make and sell these tags, and also just to give me something to focus on and to do in my free time. So there's actually one on Teddy's pen, and then there's some on my guinea pig cages. I'll put in some clips of the one on my guinea pig cages, but here's Teddy's. Yeah, it's got your name on it. And then I don't have one for Luna because it's not a wire pen, so I couldn't hang it, but eventually I'm gonna make her one for once they're bonded. She's trying to groom herself. She was literally using her paws and just rubbing the side of her cone. It is so sad, I know. Tedward. Oh, there he is. Hi. Hi, Teddy. Hi, buddy. Oh, you're so fluffy. Yes, you are. My plan for this room is to basically flip-flop it. So I'm going to be moving Ember's cage, I think, my desk, my little workshop area, all of that along this wall. Couch will be over here. And then this is going to be the bunny area. So I'm basically going to do a pen from like this wall all the way down. And they will have this full area plus the closet. The closet is like 5 by 10 feet. It's just a huge mess right now, which is why it's closed and blocked off with the shelf. But I think that'll be really good. And it'll make more sense for the room flow. Like, this gives him lots of space, but it's clunky and it's weird with the bathroom door. I want to be able to use my bathroom as a bathroom and not just as a place for Luna to have extra space. So that's the plan for once they're bonded. I wouldn't say I have high hopes. I have like medium hopes. I'm trying to be optimistic about the bonding just because at this point I really need them to get along because, well, there's only 2 of them. So options are limited. I need them to get along. So I'm excited to redo the room. Wall decor, it looks a mess. I took down a bunch of stuff to put in the pig room and whoa, he just started going crazy on the pen. And I didn't really fix up the walls, so it looks pretty bad. I know, you look so sad. Look at her and her cone. It's so sad. You look so sad in your cone. Oh my God, baby. That was essentially it for today's video. I just wanted to update you guys on everything. I know it was just a lot of me literally like rambling on and on and on. But like this past month and a half has been crazy, and there's been moments when I really wanted to film and share it with you all, but I've just been getting a little or a lot, I guess I can't decide, a medium amount of like overwhelmed with that, and just like when I can't process really fully what's going on, I'm like, I don't even really want to film it. That's why I didn't really film anything about Koda's passing. I didn't really do a memorial video for him. Part of me wants to, part of me like feels like I don't really want to accept it and do that. So I don't know if I will. It's just this weird place of feeling like he just knocked over my entire room. Teddy. Of feeling like everybody's expecting something and expecting me to handle the grief a certain way, and each pet is different, and the way I feel about each pet when they pass is different, and I'm not always gonna react the same way. And I think that can be difficult for people behind the screen to think like, oh, if she doesn't post a memorial video, then she didn't really care about him, or Teddy is not Teddy. This is a serious moment. Or like, oh, she took so long to update us, that means she doesn't really care. Like, these are the things that I think of, and I think part of it is just like anxious thoughts, like thinking of the way that I'm perceived, and the way that people perceive my actions, and it makes me anxious to think people could perceive me as something other than what I am. So, I don't know what I'm going with that, just a bit of transparency there, honestly, on why I haven't posted so long. It's just that, like, anxiousness of what kind of response am I gonna see and what kind of judgment may I get. Teddy. He is like full on not taking this moment seriously. Teddy. But anyway, I did want to update you all, and I will be filming their bonding. Hopefully it goes well. Cross your fingers. I think I'm gonna go with the stress method with the carrier, and then with a medium size, like 8 square foot bonding space, not too small and not too big. Gonna go back to the basics and try that again. I'm hopeful. They really seem good at the pens. They sleep next to each other on the same side of the pen, and they don't like box at each other. They don't really do any of that. I think there was just some initial disagreements with him not immediately letting Luna be the one in charge, and so maybe this time around he will. Or maybe she'll be more forgiving. I do not know, but once she is fully healed from her ear surgery, and the vet says that I'm okay to bond and she's okay to go back to living with others, then I will be doing that. So thank you all for watching. I'm sorry to bring you sad and honestly overwhelming updates today. Still sick. I hope I don't sound too bad in this video, but thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your patience, as I haven't uploaded in a while, and I hope to see you again soon with another video. Bye!